I'm Phasmatis, and this video is going to be about a creative trick you can use to make percussion loops. If you have a part of your song that seems to be lacking something, you can't really put your finger on it, percussion loops are great for making those parts sound a little more interesting. So to do this, we're going to need a bunch of percussion one-shots, and I'm going to be using Savage Drums for Trap. It's a pack by Phasmatis that just came out yesterday, and it's great. So I have in here a bunch of percussion one-shots, and all we need to do is put a MIDI track anywhere into our project here and throw a drum rack onto it. Okay, now I'm going to grab about a dozen of these and just throw them into my drum rack here. You can drag a bunch at the same time and it'll automatically fill them in where they're supposed to go. And now you can just play around with these on your keyboard, I believe. There it is. I'm a little slow this morning. I say that, it's like the middle of the afternoon. Come on. Anyway. So now we got a drum rack with a bunch of percussion one-shots on it. And some of these have long tails, and we're going to want those to cut each other off. If we play one and then another one very quickly, we want that second one to cut off the one that was playing so that we don't get too crowded in all of our noise. So you want to turn on your chain list here in the drum rack and click on this input-output button to get a list of choke channels, I guess these are called, and we're going to set them all to the same channel, which basically means any sample that's on the same channel won't be playing at the same time as another sample on that channel. Unfortunately, you can't select a bunch and just have them all be set to one thing. You gotta do them one at a time, but that's no problem. We only have 12, so it won't take that long. This is also a good thing to save as a preset so you don't have to do it again. Okay, so now they cut each other off when I play them really quick in succession like that. Okay. Now to do this, we're going to use Ableton's audio to MIDI conversion. So to get creative with this, what you want to do is find a loop that is not normally something you're going to use to try pulling drum MIDI out of, so something melodic. For this, I'm going to go into the ARPs folder here and get this ARP loop that I like. And oh, this is important. If I drag this right into this MIDI track, it's going to try pulling drum MIDI out of this because the channel has a drum rack on it. But I don't want to pull drum MIDI out of it because since it's melodic, it's not going to have a very great time trying to do that, and the results are going to be pretty terrible. I'm going to put in another MIDI track with a melodic instrument, some kind of synth like operator, and I'm going to throw the loop onto there. Now we get the choice for harmony, melody, or drums. If I would have just dragged it onto this track, it would have done drums by default. We wouldn't have had the option. So I like melody. I seem to get the best results with that. Now it's going to take a little bit because my machine is not very powerful. I might edit this part out. Nah, probably not. Okay, so here's what we pulled out of there. Sounds fantastic. Got the ice cream man outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyway, that's not exciting. Let's go into here and highlight all these and quantize them. And now we're just going to drag this back up onto our drum rack. And as you can see, some of these MIDI notes are in areas of the drum rack where we haven't mapped a sound. So I'm just going to highlight them all again. push this down arrow and get them all down into the zone here. Okay, now we have this. Sounds pretty great, and it was not randomly generated, but in a creative way that you might not have thought of. This is a great way to kind of force some inspiration onto yourself. Now we can take this and throw it into our song. And here we go.